So how's everything going in the life of the Lord? Oh, well, I got bags under my eyes because of my sinuses, probably, trying to process all of this fucking mold that I'm breathing in. Well, I'm really enjoying explaining what the symbols mean because, you know, I think about somebody looking at what I'm saying and being like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense now. Of course, they're not going to do that because it's all this shit that can't really be understood. It's like, oh, well, yeah, you told me what it means, but what the fuck does the meaning mean? What are you even doing? But it's still, it's fun. So, look at this. It's a vape cartridge, but when I put it on the battery, that little blinking lightning bolt means that it's charging the capacitor in the cartridge. But the charging never stops, so if I leave this on here, the battery just drains percent by percent, whether I'm hitting it or not, until it reaches 1. It apparently never reaches 0, but I don't think that means you can just keep hitting it in perpetuity. It's a defective cartridge. Weirdly, the purple ones are the purple or dark blue ones, because I also have this one. It's got it weeks ago. So if you have a fog or vape, watch out for the purple or dark blue ones. See what's... Yeah, it's still fucking draining. These things are like $20, that's like 40% of my net worth. I mentioned how my doorway says Yahweh on it. 2 on the outside, 1 right there on the threshold. I may have mentioned this before. The stories of the Bible, you can't really say that they happened, per se. The universe is made of information, and the stories of the Bible is just a whole bunch of information. But, in order to seize control of the entire thing, I have to assume the identity of that God. But none of it really happened. Nothing, a lot of the past didn't really happen. It's so, there's not much point to explain it. But, I think about it sometimes. I think about how the universe is just a bunch of information that was produced by an iterative process, basically a pollution in the divine substrate. All has to be woven together into stories, just find some place to put all of the deviations. Assume the head rule in the main story. Ray, what about all of the eastern doesn't matter. And then, continue forward with this story just so that I can personally get a resolution. This whole, rapture or the end of the world thing, well, it's just because it's how you get the information to come flush, so it all adds up and cancels. It's really hard to explain. My point is, don't take the fucking Bible too seriously, I guess. It would be the thrust of my thesis on that. I'm still a little bit sniffly, and there was a thunderstorm last night, so have some fucking water down there. Gonna have to respray the mold. But I feel a little bit better, because, I don't know, I guess all the fucking divine energy burning some of the mold out of my sinuses. Who fucking knows or cares? I got this fan. One of the legs immediately broke off. Now, most people would be like, well, Ray, if you just bought it, why don't you return it? That's a good question. The answer, I guess, is, I'm fucking born to suffer. That would be some form of fighting the shittiness of the universe, and that's what it wants. No, I'm going to accept the shitty fan. I can't have nice things. I live in a moldy room. I have a 3-legged fan, and that's just how it is. Getting ready to go to Aldi. Wow, I just got some socks and leaning over did some shit to my hair. Bit of good news, I have plenty of socks. I have such a problem with socks. I buy some socks and it's like, oh yes, life is good. I have plenty of socks. Then a couple months later, I have basically no fucking socks. I mean, they're still there, but they all have holes in them. Maybe it's just because I buy Family Dollar socks that are cheap, or that I push around 2-ton rolls of paper every day, which puts a lot of strain on the socks, but always that slow sock attrition going on. But these small ones, none of them have developed holes yet. You know, you gotta accentuate the positive. Are there any symbols that I can tell you the meaning of? Like, what does this one mean? No one knows. How about this? Well, that obviously says Yahweh Elohim, or Yahweh Elohim, depending on the ontological flow through this strip of dollar bill. I think I explained that before. I sorted out a whole bunch of shit yesterday using that little thing. I can't really explain that further. You know, I also have these socks. Wait a second. Why is this one in blue and this one in gray? I never noticed that before. You know what? It doesn't matter. It's in the shoe. Nobody's looking. I'm not above wearing mismatched socks. Got a whole bunch of these a while back, and they haven't developed holes, but approximately 40% of them have entirely disappeared, so when they disappear, that's as bad as having holes in them, in the sense that they're useless when they've apparated into another fucking dimension or whatever. It's not a mystical process, I'm sure, but they're just as gone. But you know what? Focus on the fact that I still have plenty. Oh yeah, one symbol I haven't told you the meaning of, which should be pretty easy to understand, is the Omega. Like the Alpha and the Omega. What do you suppose Omega means? Come on, think about it. It means resistance. You see? The ontological flow goes, and then it has to fucking loop around, losing energy in the loop, and then losing energy turning again, and then continuing along its way. It's an ontological resistor. And it is also associated with electrical resistance. Because, you know, what's the unit of electrical resistance? The ohm. What's it represented with? An omega. Now, if you're a real fancy pants, well, law of conservation of cosmic energy, the stuff in the omega that absorbs the flow energy and redirects it to other things. What things? Well, oh man, now we're getting into the shit you can't explain. So let's take a moment to review my ontology cage. Above me, hanging over my head while I sleep, is this. What's it mean? Oh, you know. Then over here, we got this. Now you might be asking, Ray, is this finally done? Has this cooked enough? Has it marinated in Lord juices long enough that you can finally do something with it? Not quite. This one's been here for a while. Got this wood star. It's no longer actively decaying, though. It's as decayed as it should be, and it's just sitting there, partially decayed. Excellent. Got this bloody star here, still brown with toe blood. Excellent. This right here, already showed you. Alright, this one kind of looks like a dick, doesn't it? Yes, it does. This has been hanging here. I need to process that a little before I go to Aldi. You know, I can never just go to Aldi and buy my apples and nuts and broccoli and carrots and whatever. No. I've got to process some cosmic shit first. You know, I'm like a woman. I take so goddamn long to get ready. It's like, I'm going to go to the store. Then, like, 4 hours later, set out to the store. You know, it's just Lord life. It's Lord life. It's just how it is. How about this? Is this channeled enough stuff yet? No. Have this hanging right here. You see it, just a little tiny string wrapping around the ontological wire. And now it's wrapped enough, it's good. That's going to need a little more time as well. I sure am lucky when I inherited this room from a meth head that there was already, inexplicably, an umbrella pinned up here to the ceiling, because if there wasn't, I would have had to get an umbrella by some method other than buying it and affix it to the ceiling. It wouldn't work if I bought the umbrella. It would have the wrong ontology. But don't even have to worry about it because there's already an umbrella here, so perfect for this and this. This one's been in the corner for quite a while. Haven't changed the configuration of my ontological wires for a while because I really need to charge up this with all kinds of shit. This used to be my towel string. This is my current towel string. It's had this for a while. Manages the flow. It doesn't create the flow, it just manages it. Oh hey, what's this? Some phase ontology. Not intersecting its own amplitude modulation, though. It's intersecting the amplitude modulation of the eero ontology. That's the ontology that makes you want to fuck. No, I can't explain that further. Now, being the Lord and being environmentally conscious, I don't ever let anything go to waste. This corner of my room is the moldiest corner of my room. I mean, yeah, I spray it down with bleach, try to keep it under control, but there's only so much I can do. And since there's going to be mold growing here and, being wiped away, this one right here harnesses the power of the mold. That's not putting it right. It doesn't harness the power of the mold. It harnesses the conceptual energy of the mold. The fundamental ontology of the mold, if you will. So at least I'm not living in abject filth for no reason. I am living in abject filth for crazy reasons. Totally different. Anyway, that's probably enough completely unhelpful explanations of my craft for today. I will be taking this card from where it has been sitting for a couple weeks and putting it somewhere. Y'all have a nice day.